coming to you from Puerto Engabao in Ecuador. Danny and I have been volunteering at the Spirit Hostel here on the beach, and I had to do a video here on this stunning yoga deck overlooking the beautiful ocean. I hope you all can hear some of the waves sending you all beach vibes. Today we're going to do a yoga surf flow, Vinyasa flow, focused on strengthening and loosening the shoulders for surfing. So we'll be exploring eagle pose, and I hope you enjoy. So coming to a seated position onto our mat, feeling both sit bones on the ground, or if it's more comfortable for you to come to kneeling position, that's good too. I'm going to come to seated position, but lowering your gaze, softening your gaze, or closing your eyes, placing your hands on your knees or on your heart. We'll just connect with our breath for a few moments. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Noticing how your breath feels today. And with a gentle curiosity, just notice how the air feels, the temperature feels, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. And start to do a body scan from the top of your head down to your toes of just noticing where your body feels tension today. What parts feel tighter, what parts feel looser, and just notice and observe without judgment. Turn your attention towards your mind. Notice if your mind feels very full, if it feels tired, if it feels awake, alert, ready. Just noticing and being curious. And then we'll turn our attention towards our heart space, noticing what emotions we're carrying in our heart space today. And with compassion and gentle attention, allow ourselves to feel these emotions without judgment, just noticing them, knowing that they're there, without any urgency or direction to change them, allowing emotions to be what they are today. And take a moment to set a personal intention for your practice today. If you're seeking an intention, it can be presence or just being here as you are now. Take 2 more breaths here, connecting your body to your breath. And we'll slowly blink open the eyes. We'll bring the hands together at our chest, and we'll slowly start to rub our palms together. And bringing our hands to our heart, giving ourselves a moment of gratitude and compassion for practicing today, wherever your body, mind, and soul are at today. And reaching our arms out to the side, we'll inhale, bringing the hands together. Exhale, release them down to the ground. Like eagle's wings, reaching them out to the side, up to the center. Exhale, reaching them down. 2 more times. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, your wings come down. Inhale, the arms come out and up. Exhale, they come down. Bringing your hands to your knees, start to rock your pelvis back and forth. Feeling your sit bones shift from the front to the back. And now we'll take some rib pelvis circles to the right 4 times. And and to the left 4 times. Interlacing your hands behind your head, lift your chest and your nose up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, curve the spine. Inhale, lift up to the sky. Exhale, curve the spine. Bringing the hands to the shoulders, we'll take some shoulder circles with our elbows touching at the center 4 times. And reverse. Reaching our arms out and up, we'll reach over to the right side of our mat, stretching our side body. Inhaling to the center, exhale to the other side. Inhale to center, we'll twist our left arm to our right knee, looking over our right shoulder as much as we can. Inhale, arms come up and switch, twist the other direction. Inhale, arms up. Hands come down, straighten your legs out in front of you, give them a wiggle, stomp your feet on the ground. And we'll place our feet at the front of our mat, our hands right underneath our shoulders, pressing our feet into the ground, our palms into the ground. We'll lift our pelvis up to the sky. Inhale, exhale, lower the pelvis, reach forward. Inhale, come back, lift the pelvis to the sky. Lower the pelvis, reach forward. 2 more times. Inhale, lift the pelvis up, squeeze your inner thighs together, lower. Release the legs, reach forward. Last time, inhale, feet in, lift your pelvis up, inhale. Exhale, lower the pelvis, reach your arms down. Crossing the legs, coming to all fours position. Placing our wrists underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips. We'll start to rock back and forth. And then we'll start to take circles over our wrists to the right 2 times. And to the left 2 times. Stopping in the center, we'll reach our left arm up to the sky. We'll thread the needle for a pulse underneath. Come back up to the sky, pulse underneath. Arm up to the sky and it lowers to the ground. Reach our right arm up to the sky for a twist. Inhale, exhale, reach underneath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, underneath. Inhale, reach up. Arm back down to the ground. Sit back onto our heels. We'll interlace our hands together and we'll take some circles with the wrists to one direction. And then to the other direction. Form a hand loose, wiggle them out, pura vida. And now placing our hands like we had to the front of our mat, but we're gonna place the backs of our hands onto the ground to stretch out the wrists a little bit, rocking back and forth. Then we'll face the fingers towards each other, rock side to side. And form a fist and release. Form a fist, release. Form a fist, release. Form a fist, release. Now we'll place our hands with our fingers facing towards us. We'll rock forward and back, stretching the forearms. Coming back to all fours position, we'll walk back into a plank. We'll rock forward and back here. Stopping in the center, we'll reach our right arm forward, place it down. The left arm forward, place it down. Right arm back, place it down. Left arm back, place it down. Right arm to the side, place it down. Left arm to the side, We'll walk our feet out of our mat, into our mat, out to our mat, into our mat. 2 more times. Out to our mat, into our mat, out of our mat, into our mat. We'll hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower to your bellies. Nice work, yogis. Reaching up to the sky, we'll place our elbows underneath our shoulders, reaching our chest forward. We'll take some head circles, dropping the head to the center, to the side, up to the sky, to the other side, rolling out the head 4 times to one direction, and 4 times to the other direction. Remembering to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Releasing down, interlacing the hands behind your back. Reach your wrists back, lift your chest up to the sky. We'll hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. We'll walk our hands forward. We'll lift our arms, we'll lift our legs, and we'll swim for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Walk your hands so they're underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. We'll push into all fours and downward dog, lifting the hips up and back. Rooting all 5 fingers into the ground while you push your heels back, lifting your hips up and back. Take 4 breaths here, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. And you can bend and straighten one leg, bend and straighten the other leg. Getting a sense for how downward dog feels today. Come to stillness, we'll come to plank, and then push the hips up and back to downward dog. 3 more times. Reach the torso forward, back to downward dog. Reach the torso forward, back to downward dog. Last time, reach the torso forward and back to downward dog. We'll bend both legs and we'll take some small jumps here. We'll jump or step in between our hands at the top of our mat. Halfway lift, release, sweeping the hands out and up as your torso comes up to standing, bringing your hands to the center. Exhale, bring your palms together at heart center. Coming to the top of our mat for sun salutations, we'll bring the arms out and up. Inhale, exhale, drop the right hand. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, drop the other hand. Inhale, come to center, release. Both hands down, interlace them behind your back. Reach your wrists back, chest up to the sky. Inhale, forward fold. You can bend your knees here. Releasing your hands to the ground. Step back into plank. Lower to your bellies. Lift up to low cobra. Inhale. Exhale, release to the ground. Tuck your toes, press into all fours, and downward dog. Take 2 breaths here. Looking forward between your hands, jumping or walking to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, hands come down, up and around to meet at the center. And hands come to heart center. Inhale, arms sweep down and up. And we'll drop the right hand, reach over to the side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, drop the other arm. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, release the hands behind your back, interlace them. You can bend the knees as your wrists stretch back, chest lifts up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Release the hands, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, place the hands on the floor, step back into plank, lower to your belly. Inhale, lift to low cobra. Exhale, release, tuck the toes, push to all fours, and downward dog. Take 2 breaths here, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, reaching your heels and your calves towards the ground as your hands root into the mat. Look between the hands, jump or walk your feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach the hands out and up to meet at the center, and we'll come to heart center. Taking one block or a book or a water bottle that doesn't spill, we'll place the block in between our legs, and we'll take 2 fists and we'll measure them in between our feet to make sure that they're right under our hips. And we'll sit the hips back, coming into chair pose, placing our hands at heart center. We want to make sure that our knees are behind our toes instead of the forward, in front of our toes, behind our toes, kind of like we're sitting in a chair, sending the hips back as we reach the chest forward. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. We'll twist to the right, and we'll see if we can hook the left elbow onto the right shoulder. Look over to the left, press into the palms. See if you can, with pressing into your palms, if you can get your palms to touch the center of your chest. Inhaling and exhaling here. One more breath. Hands come back to heart center. Inhale and exhale, twist the other way, hooking the right elbow onto the left knee, looking over to the left, pressing into your hands, lifting up into the chest, seeing if you can connect your palms to the center of your chest. Continuing to sit back in that chair, trying to keep your hips center as well. Squeezing the block here. One more breath. And come back to center. Reach the arms forward. We'll squeeze the block and we'll pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze the block for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up, release the block, shake out the legs. Take your block to the side, we won't need it anymore. And we'll open up the legs into goddess position with our heels slightly in and our toes slightly out, facing the corners of our mat. And we'll bend our knees, coming into a stable goddess position. Placing our palms on the inside of our shoulders, we'll reach our right shoulder to the center. Come back to center, left shoulder. Back to center, right shoulder, back to center, left shoulder, back to center. Inhale, straighten the legs, bring the arms out and up. Inhale, exhale, bend the knees, the arms come down. One more breath, inhale, reach the arms out and up, eagle arms. Exhale, the arms come down. Bringing the arms out to the side, we'll wrap the right arm on top of the left into a bear hug. We'll release the hands. The backs of our palms will touch. Maybe our wrists cross, bringing the palms of our hands to touching. Shoulders will reach up and back, sending the shoulder blades down the spine, trying to get our fingers right in between our eyes. We'll bend the knees here, and we'll take some circles in one direction. 2 times in this direction, and then we'll reverse 2 times the other direction with our eagle arms. Stop in the center, straighten the legs, release the arms, shake them out a little bit. Open the arms to the side. This time the left arm will come on top for a bear hug. Release the hands. the backs of the wrists touch. Maybe they cross, and maybe our palms touch. Our fingers are right in between our eyes. We'll lift the shoulders up and down the spine. Bend the knees into goddess position, and we'll take 2 circles in one direction here. However big or small you need today. And reverse 2 circles in the other direction. Come back to center, straighten the legs, release the arms, and shake it out. Coming to the center of our mat, preparing for tree pose, we'll bring all of our weight into our left foot, grounding all 5 toes and the heel into the mat, like we're making a footprint in the sand. And we'll place our right foot on our ankle, on our calf, or on the inside of our inner thigh. Hands will come to heart center. Rooting down into the foot, adjusting to the changes in balance. Squeezing your legs together, imagining that there's a block there to find stability with your inner leg. And find one point to look at. It's your drishti, and you'll breathe into it, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. One more breath here. Awesome, yogis. Release that foot down to the ground. Wiggle the legs, release the hands. Inhale, eagle arms out and up. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms come out and up. Exhale, release, bringing all the weight into the right foot, making a footprint with all 5 toes and the heel. We'll place the left foot, turning out the leg, turning out the left leg a little bit on our ankle, on our calf, or all the way up on our inner thigh. And squeezing our legs together like we had a block there for stability. We'll place our hands at heart center. Find your drishti to look at. Breathing in through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Release the leg. Shake out the legs. Preparing for eagle posture. We'll take our 2 wrists and we'll place them in between our feet. We'll come up and we'll sit into chair position, making sure that our knees are behind our toes, reaching our hips back while our chest lifts in the other direction. We'll open our arms out to the side. We'll cross the right arm on top. Release the hands, the backs of the wrists touch. Maybe the wrists cross, the palms touch, bringing the fingers right in between the eyes, sitting the hips back. Bring all of your weight into your right foot. We'll lift the left leg up and over, squeezing the knees, wrapping the knees. Maybe the toes of your left foot hook behind your calf. Maybe they stay out to the side, whatever feels good. But squeezing your legs together, squeezing your biceps together. We'll hold here. Inhaling, exhaling. Take 3 more breaths here on your own. Finding your drishti, your point to look at. Feeling all 5 toes rooting into the ground, your heel into the ground, making a footprint into the sand. One more breath here. Uncross the knees, uncross the hands. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms come out and up. Exhale, release. Taking 2 fists again for the other side. We'll measure 2 fist distance between our hands. We'll sit back into chair pose, reaching our hips back and our chest forward. Open the arms out, cross the left arm on top for a bear hug. Release the hands, bring the backs of the hands together. Cross the hands. See if you can get your fingers right in between your eyes. Sitting the hips down and back, shoulders come up, around, and back. Shift all your weight into your left foot, reaching the right leg up and over, squeezing the knees together. Maybe your right toes hook behind your calf, maybe they stay out. Wherever you're at today, finding your drishti and breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, sitting the hips back into a chair, making a footprint in the sand, allowing your body to adjust to the changes in balance. If you fall out of the position, that's okay. Awesome job for taking a risk, and jump right back in. One more breath here. Release the legs, release the arms. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. And exhale, they release. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, release. Coming to the top of our mat. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Place the palms on the ground. Step back into plank position. Lower to the ground. Inhale for low cobra. Exhale, release and push back into child's pose. Reaching your mat as your hips try to sit back onto your heels. If you find that you're up here, try to sit your hips back, and you can place 2 fists on top of each other to rest your head. And you can place your forehead on the ground here, releasing with gravity. You can stay here, or you can reach your hands by your heels. You can interlace your hands behind your back, bringing them up and over for a shoulder stretch. You can stay here, or you can roll to the crown of your head, curving your spine for an additional stretch. Take one more breath here, wherever you are in your version of child's pose. If your hips are up, send them back down to the ground. Lower the wrists back down to the ground. Release the hands. Place your hands on your knees to slowly help yourself back up, sitting onto your sit bones. Coming to the top of your mat, open up your feet to the distance of your mat, and we'll let our knees fall side to side. Finding stillness in the center, we'll reach our hands forward as we roll slowly to the ground. Placing our hands on the ground, walking our feet towards our ankles. We'll press our feet into the ground, and our palms are facing down, pressing into our palms. We'll lift our pelvis up to the sky. Imagine there's a block in between our thighs, and we're squeezing together for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Bringing your knees into your chest for a big hug. And then we'll straighten the legs to the sky for waterfall. We'll imagine that a waterfall is running from the tips of our toes down to our legs. You can stay here if you would like to prepare for plow pose. Place your hands on the ground. Press into your hands and lift your pelvis up and back as your feet reach towards the floor. Place your hands on your lower back. Push into your hands as your pelvis pushes forward, lifting your feet up to the sky. You can stay here if you'd like to come into eagle legs here. You can, crossing your right leg over. Maybe your knee touches your forehead. Staying here for 2 breaths. Straighten the legs and cross the other leg on top. Maybe your knee touches your forehead. One more breath here. Straighten the legs, uncross them, reach them towards the sky, and slowly we'll lower to the ground, placing our palms back on the ground and lower. If you can, vertebrae by vertebrae as you lower the spine. Bring the feet back down to the ground, and we'll take our left leg up to the sky. We'll flex our foot, we'll bend it, we'll open up that hip, and we'll place the left heel on top of the right knee. Reaching our hands forward, we'll grab the back of the knee for a figure 4 stretch. Taking 4 breaths here. One more breath. On your next inhale, release the legs, bring them back down to the ground. Lift the right leg up to the sky, bend it, placing your right heel on top of your left thigh. Reaching your hands through the legs behind the thigh, your left thigh. Flexing your feet with your toes pointed back to protect your knees in this posture. 4 breaths here. You can slowly rock side to side or just find stillness, feeling the stretch as your knee reaches towards your chest while your hip opens up. One more breath here. Uncross the legs. And we'll bring the legs into the chest for a big hug. Rock them side to side. Make circles on the ceiling to the left. And then circles on the ceiling to the right. Opening your hands on the ground into airplane. We'll place the knees and the feet together, and we'll let the knees and the feet drop over to the left, reaching our gaze in the opposite direction, looking at our right hand, staying here for 4 breaths. Take one more breath here. On your next inhale, bring your knees back into the center of your chest, and exhale, let them fall the other direction. Reaching your gaze over to your opposite hand for 4 breaths. Take one more breath here. Bringing your knees back to your chest, giving yourself one last hug. We'll reach our legs up to the sky, open our legs a little bit, and reach towards the outside of our feet, flexing our feet. We'll bend the knees, coming into happy baby, trying to get our knees into our armpits, swinging back and forth. If there are any other postures that you would like to do to complete your practice today, now is the time. Otherwise, we will meet in final resting pose of Shavasana, extending our legs out to the ground, releasing our arms, palms facing up, allowing our body to release into the mat, into the ground. Noticing the benefits of your practice on your body. With every breath, allowing yourself to let go, to let go, to let go. As you all rest here, I would like to offer some words of wisdom from the Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh, who teaches us that we find our true selves by living fully in the present. To return to the present is to be in contact with life. Life can be found only in the present moment, because the past no longer is, and the future has not yet come. Our appointment with life is in the present moment. The place of our appointment is right here in this very place. Allow yourself to take a few more moments in final resting pose, to just be here right now as you are. Allow yourself to take as much time as you need today in Shavasana. If your day is calling to you, slowly start to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, circle your wrists, circle your toes, reaching your arms up and behind you and your legs in the opposite direction, like you're waking up in the morning and stretching. And roll your body over to one side, bringing your knees into your chest into fetal position. On your next inhale, push into your hand to help yourself come into a comfortable seated position. Taking one final inhale together, we'll inhale, reaching the arms out and up. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Thank you all for practicing yoga with me today. The light in me honors and sees the light in each one of you. I hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world. Hugs and love from Danny and I here in Puerto Engabao. Namaste.